windsurfing, I'm really like just in peace of myself. Speeding over the water, I'd switch off to the normal world pressure of school and hockey and just being out there, thinking about nothing. When it's really windy and the waves are just crushing and big, I feel like it's Mother Nature against you and you just like fight and enjoy it. It's a very difficult sport, I would say. You need to have a lot of technique, a lot of balance and hours of training. I would say it's one of the hardest sports to actually learn. You need to understand that you can't go against the wind, you have to work with the wind. And I could also translate it to the ice, you know. There's a lot of similarities, obviously, because yeah, you have to play it smart. In hockey, when I'm at my best, it's the flow which I go through. Just everything works, and in windsurfing, when you're playing over the water, you just feel free and go with the flow.
Oh, come on, bring her loose. Yes! Goal for Michigan State. Well, out of the blue, no pun intended, comes Nicolas Müller.
My parents are really important to me. I have still really close contact. They're still both in Switzerland, obviously. They have jobs there. Even though I left them pretty early with 15, the main part they taught me is when you want to grow and reach your goal, you have to go out of your comfort zone. I started hockey at Backyard Pond back home in Switzerland. I was 4 or 5 years old. Being on the ice, being on those skates, I don't really know what it was, but yeah, I definitely loved it.
We just started to skate with the stick, and then we brought in some goals, and then we played against each other, little teams. We just went out as often as possible, and that was a fascination for him.
I played it for a long time, actually for fun. I like to do soccer as well, and tennis and other stuff like windsurfing. But then when I think I was like 12, 13, I started to get the real passion for it, and that was what made me a hockey player, yeah.
I remember he was on that rink, always smiling, and we pretty soon realized that this sport is just what he likes to do, and it was always the decision of Nico, what he would like to do, and we just supported him there.
In Switzerland, we have a really good education in hockey, but obviously Switzerland is a pretty small country. My dad and I were talking about it pretty early that, yeah, if you want to get to the best league, you have to play against the best. So when you're 13, 14 years old, you can't really think, yeah, there's a bigger country out there which has better hockey players, but I had a great support system which guided me and helped me.
He went actually with the national team to a tournament in Innsbruck, and then some scouts came to us and asked, what do you think about playing hockey in Sweden? Nico's eyes were just, wow, that's a really good option, so why not to try it?
It was the first time being away from home, being away from Switzerland, being away from my parents, but looking back, it was the best move I ever made, and I would say the more difficult stuff the first year was learning how to cook, doing laundry, all the other stuff, making new friends in another language, but the hockey came along as well, and yeah, my second and third year and fourth year was definitely better than my first year.
Restaurus har med sig Oskar Pettersson, istället sätter Müller. Müller med skottet i mål! Modo tar ledningen med 2-1. Det är mindre än 7 minuter kvar och Modo i förarsätet. Nicolas Müller, vilken passning av Restadius.
After his 4 years in Sweden, he told us at the very beginning it was a really hard time to be away. His decision to play hockey in the US was not an easy one, but his goal is to play hopefully once in the biggest league, NHL.
I never actually planned the NCAA, but the NCAA came up my first year I played World Juniors. I talked with some of the schools and talked with my dad and agent as well, and that was a really good opportunity for me, I felt, and getting offers from a lot of schools and yeah, MSU as well was definitely a big privilege for me. It was awesome coming here and seeing all the assets and campus and coaching staff here. made me like right away fell in love with it. And I remember after the visit, I was talking to the coaching staff and just like they kind of offering me, and I was like, yeah, obviously I want to come here.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, I love it. Love the weather, love the waves. Beautiful. Even the sun is out. Awesome.
My dad was actually a really big windsurfer. He did it also professionally a little bit. Me and my sister got pretty early into it. I was 6, 7 years old. My dad put me in a board and a sail, so that was kind of early.
Wind is coming pretty straight in. So I'm gonna windsurf through the beach here, get a wave so I can jump a little bit. It'll be a fun session.
Windsurfing is a good teacher for life, because suddenly there's a gust or a big wave, or you have a crash, and then you have to react. The conditions are always totally different. That's important to take that out of that sport and bring it into other sports.
When my dad and I talk about games, it's funny. When I play good, he said to me like, yeah, today you play like it's a lot of wind there out there. And when I play like a little soft, and he said to me that, yeah, you didn't do like a really hard session out there, right? My parents, they often told me, take a part of the windsurf session, get into the hockey, and then it will come. As you face more challenges in that uncomfortable zone, you definitely get better. I made huge progress getting through those 2 big changes in my life, making those steps, going from Switzerland to Sweden and then from Sweden to the USA.
He struggled sometimes at the beginning. I mean, new areas, new language, new friends. But I think that you have to bounce the borders. You have to go to your limits and just test them and go ahead. If you have a dream like playing in the NHL or windsurfing big waves in Maui, you have to do it and test it.
When I was a little kid, I obviously had always the NHL as a goal, but having that part-time goal, being in the NCAA, playing at the highest level in Division 1, is definitely a big accomplishment for me, and I'm really glad I came so far. But my goal is the NHL, and I'm really working hard for getting those steps in to get there.